There they are. Open. Open. Oh, wow. A lot of 480 news.
Yeah.
There we go. Alrighty. So it says we're live as of 11 seconds ago, I think.
All right. Well, hello everyone.
I need to find out where the frick our link to this is. To this video. Oh, okay. Here we go. There we go. Make sure the sound is muted. Yes, it is. Why are they putting... I forgot to disable the ads. I don't like it when there's ads on my talk show. Get that out of here. Alrighty. So I sent you your link. And I'll Twitter the other stuff because Twitter, even though my followers don't listen to me. Um, live now. Another tech show. No, talk show. So yeah, I've actually been digging that name.
I like it actually. I do as well too. That worked out pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Because like I said, we're in an oversaturated market here, man. It's nice to kind of just own it, you know. So
yeah, there's a lot of them, unfortunately, but ours is the best, right?
yes,
Maybe?
yes, in my opinion, is definitely the best. So yeah, no. By the way, my girlfriend's just going to be sitting here staring at me. So this week's
hello.
episode. Oh, there's a hand. This week's episode is going to be recorded in front of a live audience.
Oh, hey, all right, our first live audience.
Exactly.
We're moving up in the world.
Some guy joined and said, "Sup, dude? What's up, man? How you doing?" I'm gonna type it for you too, man. Yeah, there we go. So did you get your YouTube link?
I got it. I'm up. We're ready to go.
Okay, so you probably noticed that I sent you absolutely no links for topics, and that's because I don't have any.
Well, it really not really much has happened in the past 2 weeks, has it?
Well, I mean, I count the 480 as something to be
Oh
extremely excited about.
yeah.
So that's why I didn't even grab any links because I was like, dude, I think I could rant on the 480 for like 3 hours.
Yeah, I've got a 481, an AMD stock one, and then one talking about not purchasing the 900 series of Nvidia's cards.
Oh, well, ooh, I'm actually
Even though
interested in that one. Even though they're getting really good pricing.
Yeah, well, I'll start off with that one. But yeah, I picked this up over at PC World, and I've seen some of the 980 Ti's dropping in price. I've seen some of them as low as brand new, like 410, and
wow.
but they're saying even though they're dropping, you still
1070 would still be better, is what they're thinking.
yeah, the 1070 is still better than the 980 Ti. It's like they're like neck and neck right now, and the driver improvements of the 1070 are going to eventually it'll eclipse the 980 Ti. Yeah, so they're saying even though the 980 Ti is $400, just still get yourself a 1070 and you're going to be ahead.
But if you already have a 980 Ti, get yourself another 980 Ti. Because
Yeah, I
two
agree.
980 Ti's will overpower one 1070.
Oh,
Though
easy,
you also
yeah.
want to make sure that you're prepared for the difficulties of running multiple GPU setups, which can happen. If you had $300 to buy a video card, what would you buy? I would probably hit up used and see if I can find myself a 980 or 980 Ti for $300.
Yeah,
because that would be a monster of a GPU. If it had to be brand new, there isn't really any good graphics cards in the $300 range, is there? The 390X, which isn't going to be worth it right now because the 480. So you'd have to drop down to $200 to hit up that 480 range. Because I don't think you're going to find anything for $300 in that price point. I don't know.
Maybe I'm looking at eBay for a 980 right now to see how the prices of 980s
there's a guy selling a 980 Ti on Craigslist right now for $280, $290.
Yeah, that might be your best bet if you can find something local for around $300 on Craigslist.
Oh yeah,
if it's like a 980 or 980 Ti. There's your $300 right there.
Because granted, the 1070s and 1080s are extremely nice. They're also more expensive than that. But like I said,
and they're harder to get too. They're not in stock everywhere,
Yeah.
so that makes a difference.
Yeah, that's definitely been a problem with the GPUs. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm actually going to go in PC Parts Picker list this, and I'm just going to go in the $300 range and see exactly what we have. You know what I mean? Because if I recall, there isn't many GPUs that are in that $300 range.
No.
So you're looking.
The last of it was the 970.
Yeah,
that was
the 970 had a price drop, so currently right now you can get the
under
gigabyte
$300.
models, for around $289. That would actually be an extremely good buy, except for the fact that you can possibly pick up a 390X for roughly that price, which would be a little bit better since it has the 8 gigs of memory. But from the looks of it, it's basically you're either looking at a 970 or a 390. is what you would be looking at for $300. So you just pick your poison, you know what I mean? Whichever one you want. They're going to be roughly the same. You most likely won't notice the biggest differences between them. So this is price plummets for the 900 series. You're saying basically it's pointless to buy them because if you can get your hands on a 1070, it's better than a 980 Ti.
Oh yeah. And
so have you seen the benchmarks for the 1070 versus the 980 Ti? Is it really wiping it that bad?
No, they're like even.
Even?
But if the drivers keep getting better, it's gonna surpass the 980 Ti.
But that's also with the point with the whole thing with Tech Yes City. Brian was saying, if they stop working on the 980 Ti drivers, of course it's going to get better.
Yep, exactly. So the 1070 is going to start walking away, I think. And then at that point, you might as well just get the newest technology.
Yep, and it has 8 gigs of VRAM. So
and power consumption is lower too, quite a bit lower. So yeah, I think you're better off with a 1070 than a 980 Ti, unless you can get a 980 Ti for like 350, 300. Oh man, if you got one for 300, that'd be smoking. But even on eBay right now, I don't see one in the $300 range.
You're basically gonna have to look for the desperate people on Craigslist that need to pay their rent or something, because they spend all their money on graphics cards. Which, hey, we've all been there before.
I've been there.
So, but yeah, no, that's neat. The price is plummeting for that, but not as much as we would like to see because of the performance increases for the 1070. Like you said, it's still the point to where you shouldn't buy them because they're not cheap enough. But obviously, there's going to be people out there like us where we would say, I have $400 to buy a new GPU. Should I A, buy a second 980 Ti or B, buy a 1070? We're going to buy the second 980 Ti. So that's why they're probably not going to lower the price too much more, because there's still people out there that are going to look to get a second or third card for the 980 Ti. I don't know what a Licata is. What is Licata? He said, hey, Licata. So, anyways, the reason I have no topics, now I can actually explain myself. So, it is my birthday weekend. Tomorrow I will officially be old.
What is old? 27?
26. 26.
Oh,
I had to look over and get confirmation. That's super sad. I haven't been keeping track of my birthdays. My birthdays usually the last 4 or 5 years have just been go to a bar and drink a little bit and go home. You know what I mean?
Nothing wrong with that.
Well, last night, though, we ended up going to one bar, getting fairly decently buzzed there. Played pool with the worst pool sticks I've ever played with. Like, the tips literally fell off, and it was just like hitting it with a wooden stick. So we're like, let's walk down the street, because we don't condone drinking and driving. So we're like, let's go fucking walk down the street and go to the bar down the street, because they have a better pool table with better pool sticks. So we ended up playing a pool there. Some random 2 drunk guys that just got laid off started hanging out with us, bought me a shot, and we basically just hung out and drunk with them until like 4 in the morning, and then we stumbled into Roberto's and got tacos and shit. Thank you for the happy birthday. But yeah, that's why today I have no topics, and why our show is later, and my phone was dead, so I didn't even get half your text messages, because I was out till like 4 in the morning last night.
Passed out.
Yeah, I woke up and texted him. I'm like, yeah, dude, I just woke up. It's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. My bad. So that was pretty. 9 plus 10 equals 21. Yes.
Oh,
okay.
we're doing that. We're doing that again.
Yeah,
oh man.
Going back to that. So yeah, that's basically been my week. That and work. You know what I mean? Same as usual. I've been getting extremely eager with the 480. Like sadly eager. Like little kid, Christmas Day, and the new Optimus Prime toy came out, and I'm like super eager, and I love Transformers. So that's like what I've literally been giddy. I've watched almost every single 480 video they are, even though they all contain the same information, leaked information. Right? I still watch them just to hear someone else talk about it. It's just, I know it's not going to bring down the 1080 or the 1070. I know that's not what it's aimed for. But we can go ahead and hop into one of your 480 ones if you do. Does any of these have anything to do? 1.5 gigahertz. Hold on, I'm reading them. Reference model, pictured factory overclock at 1288. So this is all the stuff we've already been reading up on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, okay. I mean, it looks like you're going to get your 480 on June 29th is what they're thinking. So that's really good. That'll give. I wonder what NVIDIA is going to do with that. I mean, granted, the 480 is not anything near the 1070 or the 1080.
They're going to release the 1060 that's slightly better and charge $40 more for it.
Yeah, that's what I think too. Yeah. I think we're going to see a 1060 faster than we thought.
Yeah, and maybe they'll put 6 gigs. I mean, they might try to do something with the memory, try to put like 6 gigs of RAM on it so it looks more appealing than the 4 gig variant. Who knows? You know what I mean? We won't know much. There's all that is floating around is even extremely small amounts of speculation. There's not even large amounts of speculation like there is for the 480X. or 480 RX 480. So the one thing I want to say about this, so there's been a lot of hype about the 480, but AMD is not themselves hyping it. It's everybody around. So for instance, the 1080, 1070, Nvidia was really hyping that. You know what I mean? They were building up the hype train. AMD is not saying shit at all. They're barely getting us into any of this. Yeah, well, I'll talk about why I'm gonna pre-order a 480 in a second, and what my thoughts behind it and why I feel that way. But for right now, we'll talk about that. What I was saying before is they're not hyping it. It's everyone else that's hyping it. You know what I mean? And that just kind of makes me feel like they might actually have something up their sleeve because, I mean, they're not doing any hyping. But then again, they didn't hype the 300 series too much, and look what happened there. It wasn't really an improvement. You know what I mean? But they hyped the Fury.
I'm really curious what they do with the 490, 490X, and then if they do like an RX Fury. I'm really curious what that's going to come to.
Well, I'm pretty sure have you heard that Pascal is not going to be a replacement.
Yes,
Pascal's chip has not been designed to replace any of the higher end cards. Like it's not made to take out the Fury line. It's not aimed at the 1070, 1080 line at all. Pascal. So what a lot of people are saying is that Pascal,
Polaris, you mean?
Polaris, sorry. Polaris. Yeah,
right.
I was looking at Polaris right here and still saying Pascal. So Polaris is not aimed to take out any of their original high standing, high end GPUs, their flagship cards, which is why a lot of people are saying that there will not be a 490. Is what they're saying. And if they do release a 490, it will not be a Polaris card. That's going to be Vega. So Vega's supposed to be coming out in a year or so. Vega, I don't know. The people once again speculate that it might be using HBM2, but we don't really know. The HBM2 has been kind of limited as far as being able to get it. So they might still be holding off on HBM2. Maybe they'll do DDR5X is what we're all hoping for on the Vega. But like I said, Vega's so distant. And the fact that they've barely even released anything about their 400 series, we're not really going to hear anything about their Vega series right now for a little while. But that's what people are saying, that is Polaris is not going to be aimed at taking out any of those higher cards. So we might not even see a 490. And if we do, it might just be a slightly beefed up 480. You know what I mean? And I feel like there would be a lot of people that would be slightly disappointed in that.
I am, but
yeah, because usually we've always known as AMD is their, well, until they released their Fury, the 390 was always a different chip than the rest of the cards. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The 390 would always be the bigger chip, you know, and a different name, different everything, the same architecture roughly, but it was a different chip. And if they were to make the 480 Polaris or the 490 Polaris, that would be different than what they've been doing before. You know what I mean? With their lines of the Fury, which is why if they did come out with a 490, it's either going to be a cut down version of the new Vega Fury 10 or whatever the hell they want to call it, or B, it's going to be a pumped up version of the Polaris GPU. So we're not sure, and we won't know until they come out. But I am super excited with AMD's stuff. I can't wait for it. And did you hear about them kind of showing Zen?
Yeah, I did hear a little bit about it, but I didn't catch all of the details.
Well, what they did was they held up a chip and said, "This is Zen," and that's it.
That's all. Okay. They didn't release anything else.
I think they showed it running a game, Doom. I think. I'm not sure, but it's just funny. It can play Doom. Can it play Doom? Well, is Doom even that crazy of a game?
I don't think so.
As far as hardware requirements, I mean, it's no Crysis 3, right?
I run it on Ultra, and it never falls below like 80. So, I mean, yeah, I don't think it's a tough game to run. I don't.
Okay, so I don't know why people are using that as the new Crysis 3 standard, but they're all doing the new question is not can it play Crysis 3, is it can it play Doom? Which I don't see.
Yeah. Doom plays better on my PC than Crysis 3.
Yeah, see, and that's why
at max settings.
Well,
yeah, Crysis 3 is still a tough game.
It might just have to be with the hype behind Doom. Everyone loves Doom. All the Doom fans are extremely excited to play the game, and everyone wants to play it. So they're using that as their base set of yes, it can play Doom. You know what I mean? People getting into PCs, they're like, I want to make sure I can play Doom. Well, then again, from the sounds of it, you could probably play Doom on a souped up toaster. If it's that well optimized, hey man, if it's running that well, that's a good thing. You know what I mean?
It does run good. They did their job. I'm not a huge fan of the new game Doom, but it's all right.
Yeah. I want to try it.
It's pretty fast.
I want to try it just to see how it runs, and I will be getting Overwatch too. I don't have it yet, but that's because somebody refuses to buy it for me until my birthday. and I was gonna buy it. I was gonna buy it myself, but then she got mad at me saying, "Don't buy it yourself." You know what I mean? So that happened. Hi, Papa. Hi. Are you calling me Papa, or is Papa like, I don't know what's going on in chat? I'm just curious on that. But yeah, no, I'm excited for Zen. We're hoping to see what they can do. Hopefully, they can undercut Intel's prices because they said they are releasing a Zen chip that's going to compete with the 5960X, I believe, right? The 8-core 16.
Yeah, that's correct.
So they're
8-core 16.
Yeah, so I'm wondering what the pricing is going to be on that, because if they're saying we're going to aim to go after $1,000 CPU, I'm wondering what AMD is going to think that they can charge for that CPU, because if
400.
I don't know, man.
I'm estimating 400.
What was the 9590 or whatever released at? Like what, 300?
250 or 300, yeah.
Okay, so it was still less than an i7. I'm gonna go.
I think they're gonna try to go i7 territory. Like I think they're gonna go 350, 450, somewhere in that range.
That's good. I mean, I'm excited.
I hope
for
so.
That. I want them to go for
I hope I'm right.
Yeah. And it's not that that we're saying this just because we're like with everyone else that says we need AMD to be great again because competition. And while that is true, I want AMD to be in first place because I like the color red more than I do green. And it literally has absolutely nothing to do with performance. If I had to choose a color, red or green, I would actually choose red. So I would like Radeon to be ahead. That way I can like red more than I like green. Because currently
I just think competition, yeah.
Well, yeah, obviously competition's important. I was just being ignorant and saying I like the color.
I know.
So, yeah, I'm super excited with all the upcoming things, and I'm hoping that Zen does well. I will say this, I don't like how they're going on the AM4, the AM4 socket, instead of kind of going the LGA route. With how it's basically how the socket of the motherboards are designed and stuff like that. I'm not too big into it because I'm not... Make AMD great again. Yes, exactly. Make AMD number one so I can like the color red more than the color green again and not feel bad.
That's a great reason, right?
Mm-hmm. But I'm no computer engineer, so when it has to come down to it, I don't know the extreme differences, but I do know that as far as overall better performance is going to come out of an LGA over the AM socket. So I mean, I don't know why they went that route, but they got DDR4, and maybe they have their reasoning onto why. Maybe it's just because they're used to using the AM sockets and they like that. That's the sound of it. You know what I mean? They want to differentiate. They don't want to be too much like Intel. They want to be different than Intel in a different type of way. So I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, that's exciting news for all of those. And what is your other one? Sapphire 480 reference models pictured FXX factory 1280. So is this just showing what the clock speeds it's going to run at?
Yeah, this is just like the announcement of what XFX, Sapphire, and Power Color, which are the big board partners, I think, for AMD, what they're going to be releasing on June the 29th.
Okay. It's all going to be reference designs and stuff, and yes, I will be pre-ordering it, and I'll go into detail of why and how I feel about that in a second. But let's see what we got. If they let me fucking pre-order it, you know what I mean? So it's saying the other 400 series, the Polaris 10, is which, if you don't know, the Polaris 10 chip is going to be or not Polaris 10, the Polaris 11 is going to be the 460, and the cut down version of the Polaris 10 is going to be the 470. It's saying that those are set to release in June as well. So are we? I mean, if the 480 is releasing on the 29th of June, isn't there only 30 days in June? So
yep. I think they're all going to come the same day. I bet you.
Same day. Damn. Do I need to get all three of them? I mean, I
really want price to. Point.
I do.
Those price points are fantastic.
For under a couple $100, you could buy 3 GPUs right now. Like that's going to be awesome.
That 460, I think that 460 is going to be
an extreme.
That's going to be that's going to be the 780 or the 750. The 750 Ti was like my go-to card in that range for with no because it doesn't need external power.
Well, but even the 750 Ti still ranged anywhere from 120 to 150, depending.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it was on sale, you could get it for 100.
This 460 is in the kick butt, I think.
Which is why I always lean to the 360 over the 750 Ti. People get mad. 750 Ti is not that much better. But if you are on a dead 100%, I cannot spend more than like $105 on this GPU. The 360 on sale usually by XFX was $99. You free shipping. So that's why I usually always went for the 360 over the 750 Ti, though the 750 Ti does play better, but the 360 also had better performance numbers when it came to DirectX 12. So that's why I would usually choose it, but I'm extremely excited with that 75 watt TDP. That is insanely low for a card that's going to be more powerful than the 360, because they wouldn't release it if it wasn't. And I'm excited with that. That's going to be great for those small, pre-built desktops that have like 300 watt power supplies. You can just throw one of those bitches in there, and if you already had an Intel Core i3 in there from Dell or whatever that you got it from, you're good to go and play all your games at 1080p, and you'll be able to max out all those other games like Counter-Strike and shit. You know what I mean? They're calling that esports card. Which I don't know why they would call it esports. I mean, I guess it's just because they looked at the esport games as being extremely low. I mean, even some of them play at 720p just to have 500 frames a second. You know what I mean?
I know, right?
So maybe that's what they're doing. But either way, $100 for a well-performing card at 1080p is definitely going to be hard to beat. I don't think Nvidia is going to have anything to compete with that, and they never really have. I mean, look at the 950 versus the 360. Yes, the 950 is a lot better, but it's also like $60, $70 more. You know what I mean? Any info on the 480 overclock? Well, I have heard that AMD is extremely working on their overclocking software. Have you heard that?
Yeah, one of my topics was that.
Okay, let's go to that. Okay,
with their new overclocking tool.
Alrighty. Yeah. So, weren't they working with? They're basically looking for more precise and more, how would I say it, fully featured voltage control to allow for higher overclocks. With their new software that they're working on, and the reason why they're doing this is we all know, with the once it got to the fact that they had been using that same, what was Tonga GPUs? There was the 280X, I think.
I don't remember.
Fiji chips. Which one was Fiji? See, I don't remember. But basically, the chips they were using in the 260 all the way up to the 290X were the same chips for generations for the most part. And because they were the same chips, every year or every 2 years, every generation, they would release a faster and faster version. The 7970 and 7950 and then the 280s, 280Xs, 290, 290Xs. Basically, it was the same chip, just getting clocked slightly higher every time. And they got to a point to where their cards were no longer able to overclock any higher, because over the last couple generations, they've been bumping it up for you. So technically, in a sense, it basically made it seem like your AMD cards are no longer overclockable. Even though technically they just were factory overclocked high, because the chip back then used to only run at like 900 or 1,000 megahertz. Now they're shipping them out the box at 1150. So there goes all your overclocking potential. Now you're lucky to hit 1200. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now
it doesn't look good, but it's already because it's already there.
Exactly. But now they want to get rid of that. They want to make sure that their stuff's able to overclock and that you get that kind of good feeling of getting the free performance back from your cards. And they're also on the 14 nanometer FinFET. So basically, it's a new chip, new die, new everything. So they're hoping that they can kind of reset their clock, I guess, in speaking in a sense, to where they can start you off on a new chip that they're not pushing too hard out of the box unless they plan to refresh it the next 3 generations. Then you're going to be getting cards shipping out at 1.5 gigs that'll only overclock to 1.6. You know what I mean?
Well, shit, yeah, they've been on a 28 nanometer now since 2013. So in fact, November. So really, like 2.5 years they've been on 28. So now they're dropping to the 14. So they're gonna, they pushed that 28 for a long time. I mean, there is a shit ton. You got your GCN, then there's their Oland, there's Bonaire, Trinidad, Tonga, Antigua, Grenada, Hawaii, Fiji. I mean, there was so many different variations of that.
That's what I'm saying. Every single time, they were just slightly overclocking the chips more and more and coming out with higher clock speeds. And it got to the point to when, at the last generation of the 390s and shit, you got your card and you could barely overclock it.
Yeah,
it was already pushed to the limit. Yeah. So they're starting fresh, and from what they're saying, yes, Victor, they should be better overclockers. I don't know what you would consider a good overclocker. It's kind of hard to compare with the 2100 megahertz that NVIDIA likes to push out. Roughly 2000 is what I would say the average is, 2050. But they're saying it's capable of 1.5 gigahertz and or more clock speeds, but obviously we won't know until we test it. These are things that are going to be really hard to say until we test it. We're all hoping, obviously, that they're going to be better overclockers. Even though I personally don't overclock my GPU, I have the 980 Ti. I just let it boost. I think it boosts up to like 1450, and that's fine with me. My card boosts high enough. I don't need to sit there and push it to squeeze out every inch of performance because I play Left 4 Dead 2, and I use VSync. So, you know what I mean? Even if I don't use VSync, it's still like 300 FPS. I could downclock the card and still get 300 FPS. So it doesn't really matter for me. You know, I have an overpowered GPU for the game that I do play the most. But yeah, 1.5 gigahertz doesn't seem as high, especially when NVIDIA is shipping their cards out with a higher clock speed than that. You know what I mean? So it doesn't seem as appealing, but you also have to look at this. You can't measure AMD's clock speeds versus NVIDIA clock speeds. You know what I mean? It doesn't work like that. Just like you can't measure an AMD CPU's clock speed against an Intel's clock speed. You know, they work differently. So one might even be clocked lower and run faster just because of architecture or memory, you know, anything, the controllers they're using, shit like that. So we won't know till we see it, but we are all very excited to see what they've done with their software. Does it say who is making the tool? Is AMD making it and putting it in their suite?
I think it's AMD.
So they're going to put it in their Radeon suite, their Crimson,
I think so.
Their driver suite. Okay. We'll see how that plays out because we always know how new overclocking software comes out. I mean, I hate OC Guru. I just put it like I have a Gigabyte card and I hate OC Guru. I want to use MSI Afterburner, but in order to turn off the stupid inaccurate LED light on the front of my graphics card, I have to use OC Guru because the white is it has you can make the light glow white, but it comes out blue. Like it doesn't look anything like white. So
that's annoying.
Yeah, I just turn it off. But either way, I'm excited to see how it is, and of course, like I said, I will be trying to be an early adopter of getting it, just because I want to play with it. But remember my friend's build that I told you I was going to be doing with the i3 and the 380?
Yeah.
I told him, I was like, dude, in like 2 weeks, they're releasing a new GPU to replace the one that I am planning on getting you for the same friggin' price. I'm like, so I think we should hold out and we should get that one instead because it's supposed to be better. Now that comes to my why would I pre-order an R9 480 or an RX 480 or the RX 470 or 460? Why would I pre-order those? And the reason why I would pre-order them is because they cost the same amount as the old cards, except you know they're going to be better. Like, I don't know how much better. You know what I mean? I don't know if it might have some driver issues for the first month or two while it's out. That's a possibility. But the matter of the fact is that it will be better. The RX 480 will be better than the 380. It has to.
Oh, guaranteed.
Yeah,
yep, guaranteed.
It has to. So why would I spend $200 on the 380? Granted, I know what performance I'm going to get with the 380. But I could get the 480, which is already, I don't know how much more better it's going to be, but I know it's going to be better. So why, you know what I mean? Might as well get the 480 for the same price, you know.
Oh yeah.
Not to mention you'll be on the edge of you'll be on the edge of the bleeding new technology, you know what I mean? So that is my reasoning behind it. Why would I buy a 360 when I could buy a 460 for the same price and just wait an extra week? Regardless of how much better it performs, it's going to perform better. You know what I mean?
And you'll be way ahead.
So that's my reasoning. There was a guy I was talking to in one of the comments of a video, and I was telling him that is why I would pre-order it. People always say don't pre-order stuff, and granted, I would never pre-order anything, but I'm thinking about pre-ordering this card. I won't pre-order games, but I'll pre-order this card. Because I know that this card will be better than its. I mean, if it was $70 more, no, I wouldn't pre-order it.
Right.
I don't know if its performance over the 380 would be worth the extra $70. But because it's the same price, I know that any performance over the 380 is basically free performance. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm going to end up pre-ordering one. So hopefully, if I can pre-order, I don't know how. I've been Googling like fucking crazy. How do you pre-order one of these? Because I want one. And I know I don't have enough subscribers and fame to get AMD to send me one. So
Probably not. Yeah.
yeah, so
You,
it's like I'm gonna have to buy it if I want to review it. You know
I
what I
bet you
mean?
got to have. I bet you got to have 20,000 or better to even before they'll even talk
Yeah,
to you.
no, they have requirements. Yeah, they probably just look at me and be like, "Who the fuck is this scrub?
Yeah,
Don't send
exactly.
him anything.
Get out of here.
Send him a bag of poop."
Yeah.
So, I'm hoping that it's going to be fucking sweet, and I hope they let me pre-order it. I hope that it's an available thing that they have on their website. Were you able to pre-order the 1080s and 1070s? Do you know?
No, I wasn't. I could. Only thing I ever got to do was get auto notification when they were in stock. I never got a chance to pre-order it.
Really? From Nvidia's website?
Oh, I didn't. I'm sorry. I went through Newegg. I didn't go through Nvidia's website.
Because Nvidia's website was selling them. Because what I'm hoping is that I'll be able to pre-order it, so I know I can get that. I can get my RX 480 literally within days of its release and get my review up for it. That way I can show you guys what it does because I'm excited for it, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people are. Um, so that's what I want. I want to get it up as soon as possible. But if I can't pre-order it, who the fuck knows when I'll get it in, because it's going to be so hard to buy it
I
if
think
it's not
so.
in
It's going to be a
stock.
good seller. I think.
Yeah, a lot of people are excited for it. But yeah, I had a guy that was arguing with me about why you shouldn't pre-order stuff because you don't know how it'll perform. But I told him, regardless how it performs, it will be better than the 380. That's
Well, I mean, you got to think about something too. People, you can't pre-ordering games is a bad idea, but hardware comes with a warranty. So if you pre-ordered it and you got it and it was shit, you could send it back. You can't. If you pre-order a game, you don't get your money back. So I mean, pre-ordering hardware, I don't think is nearly as bad idea as pre-ordering games. I don't. Pre-ordering hardware, I think is fine because you got that warranty. You got probably 90 days minimum, and you probably got at least 1 year.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Well, even then, when it comes to pre-ordering hardware, this shit gets leaked out. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's not like a game where there's so many aspects of a game that you would want to be right in order for you to consider it a good buy. You know what I mean? With a graphics card, if it gets more FPS than the fucking competition for the same price, that's all you need to know.
Yep.
You
Get it.
99% of enthusiast PC builders and gamers do not give a shit about power consumption, do not give a shit about temperatures. If it runs a little bit hot but it gets me 20 frames more, I'm doing it.
Oh, I'll buy it.
You know,
Yep.
see, so that's why I'm saying, like, I don't care how hot it runs as long as it's within reasonable temps. Once again, that plays to the warranty. If it is overheating, it's warranted, so you don't have to worry about it. I don't care about the power consumption because my power supply is good enough, and basically all I care about is it performing better. And because I know that it's a new architecture and everything, and AMD's been working really hard on it, and not to mention the 380s and 380Xs weren't much over the 280Xs, just slightly more efficient. It's going to be better than the 380, and I know that. So I'm okay with buying it. You know what I mean? So I'm excited with it, and I wish that NVIDIA could come up with something that reasonably priced. You know what I mean?
They might have to after this.
They might, because AMD is undercutting. That's something we can talk about too as well. Is that AMD is undercutting the market. They're going to deliver a swift punch to NVIDIA right in the nuts.
Oh, right in the nuts.
Because what NVIDIA has released is a $400 to $500 card, along with a a $600 to $800 card, depending on
Yep.
where you go. The market for the people that spend that much money on a card is so small. The
Yeah,
percentage,
yeah. Very,
Is-
very small.
yeah, it is an extremely small percentage of people that have that much money to spend on a card. What AMD is doing is undercutting them before they can even release their new stuff. They're trying to get their name branded as in, if you only have this much money to spend, you buy AMD. Because right now people have it in their heads is, if you want the best of the best, you buy Intel. You want the best of the best, you buy Nvidia. You know what I mean? That's just mental. That's just how it processes in your head. You look at two cards and you say, "Oh, the Nvidia one's a little bit expensive. It's probably better because it's Nvidia." And that's just how that's just how we've been taught to think over the last few years of performance from AMD versus Nvidia, as well as AMD versus Intel. And AMD now knows that. You know what I mean? They got it in their heads. They know that that's what they're dealing with. So instead of trying to take out Nvidia, because even if AMD was beating Nvidia, say AMD came out with a high-end GPU that just wiped the floor with a 1080, how many people do you still think would buy the 1080 simply because they think Nvidia is better? You know what I mean?
Right,
There's a
I
lot of
agree.
people out there that would look at it and be like, well, all my friends use Nvidia, and they always say Nvidia makes the best GPUs, so I'm going to get this. Obviously, if they're like us, you're going to look at numbers and check performance, you know what I mean? And our audiences, hopefully our audiences are smart enough to do that as well. But there are people out there that don't look at it as like that. They just kind of look at it by brand. You know what I mean? Like, why would you buy an offset shitty piece of crap tire that you've never heard of for your car when you could go and buy a brand new Michelin one for the same, roughly the same price? You're like, well, Michelin's better because I know that name. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So AMD is going to undercut them pretty freaking hard by sending out and targeting about 80% of the market with new GPUs.
Yeah,
And,
I'm looking at the Steam where you can click on a hardware survey. Less than 1% of everyone on Steam has a 980 Ti.
There you go. So Nvidia came out targeting the top 1 or 2%.
And that card, the 980 Ti, has been out for more than a year. So even a year later, less than 1% of people have the top tier card. And a Titan, I don't even see Titan, but I'm sure it's. I mean,
hey, we're the 1%ers, dude.
Yeah, literally. And actually, interestingly enough, though, the 5% of people are using the 970, and that's the highest one. It's 4.94% at the GTX 970. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But yeah, I wouldn't call the 970 a top tier card, but the 980 Ti, yeah, and then like I said, Titan. I don't even see Titan.
Well, no, Titan doesn't even have a place in there. The percentage is so small that there's nothing to even measure. So I just said, what's up to the professor? He's in chat. He's saying hi to us. He stopped by to come hang out and talk in the show a little bit. So, yeah, no.
Yeah, there he is. Hey.
Yeah, he said hi. How you guys doing? We're doing great. If
Great.
you go to the front, you get to hear our stories of what we've been up to the last week. Yeah, we missed the week before. That was mostly my fault. If I remember, I texted Mike, but he didn't reply because he didn't see my text because he's a busy guy. And then when he did text me back, I had already went and picked up my girlfriend from the airport. So he texted me back, and I was already at the airport. And I'm like, dude, I'm not even near my computer. I don't think we're going to make it this week. So last week's missing was my fault. We were extremely inconsistent with this because we're amateurs. So,
Well, actually, no, we're consistent. We're every other week.
Yeah, we're every other week.
It's like literally, I don't think we've done 2 in a row, have we? It's like been every other week.
Well, that's because I refuse to miss 2 weeks in a row. I'd feel bad.
Exactly.
And I like doing this, you know?
I do too. It's a hell of a lot of fun.
So
I like it.
I'd rather not miss 2 weeks in a row. That just sounds like a bad idea. But anyways, yeah. So back to what you're talking about. Yeah, AMD is aiming. So what I'm hoping, though, is that I think the 950 is roughing around like 150 right now that you can get. I am hoping that their 470 wipes the floor with the 950. Because if it does not, you're going to have all those NVIDIA people that are still aiming the 80% of the market that has those 650 Ti's, 650s, 550 Ti's, 750 Ti's, 750s. They're going to go for the 950 over going and buying a 470. You know what I mean? For that $150 price tag. So AMD has to be extremely careful and make sure that if they want to take this 80%, they need to wipe the floor in pricing and performance with whatever NVIDIA has for their low end. Because right now, NVIDIA's 950 and 960 are still extremely well low-end cards. You know what I mean? Granted, if I had to spend, what is it, $200 for 960 is roughly what you're looking at, 180
Yeah, they had a little price drop. I guess the 4 gig card is closer to 200.
The 960 is pointless because I will say the 380 beats it.
The 380 beats the 960.
380 and 380X will beat it. So the 960 is kind of a pointless loss, but the 950 will beat a 360 hands down. So AMD has nothing to compete with that 950 right now, and I'm hoping that when they come out with this 470, it has to wipe the floor with it. Otherwise, they won't have that market. You know what I mean? So if they want that 80% market, it's one thing to target with that 480, but they really need to target with that 470. The 470, people won't think of it like that, but the 470 is more important than the 460 and the 480. And people might think I'm stupid for saying that, but the reason why is the 470 is aimed at that $150 mark, which is roughly what you pay when you get a 750 Ti or a 650 Ti and a 550 Ti. And a huge percent of the market uses those GPUs. Do you have the chart up still?
No, how
do I get to that chart? Tell me.
So you go to Steam and then Help and then System Information.
Oh. Okay.
And then there's a click that says compare your hardware to that of other Steam users.
Where's
Help?
Which one is? Oh, just Help.
Yeah, just Help in general.
System Information. Okay.
And then there's another tab that says compare.
Yeah, there we go. I found it. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and look at how many people use like a 950 or 750 Ti.
950 is 0.62%.
Mm-hmm.
650 Ti is 0.59%.
Oh wow, those are
Five
small.
yeah, 550 Ti 0.9. It really starts ramping up like there's it's like a 770. Um, but there's these like crazy ones like a 730, a 750 non Ti is in here too.
Mm-hmm.
630. There's some fairly low end GPUs at the top of the list. 760 is a high one at 2%.
A
But yeah,
760.
you know what? 750 Ti has almost 3%.
Well, that's what I'm
But
saying,
then,
and
yeah,
those are
yeah.
some of the markets that the 470 is going to go on. You know what I mean?
hmm
And
Look at Intel Graphics HD 4000 has 3.25%. It's higher than a 750 Ti. People are running integrated graphics.
okay, here we go. I think I found the percentage. Is that where it shows like the 970, 960, and it
Yep,
shows the
yep,
percentage?
yep.
I don't even see the 980s and shit. Where's that all
It's
at?
way down. The 980 is way down.
Oh,
It's like
it's based on the percentage.
yeah,
That's
it's
how
based
they.
on the percentage of use. Yep, yep.
Okay, so the most used card right now is a 970. Wow,
I was
5%.
actually surprised. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
wouldn't have
very good.
thought.
But if you guys
Yeah.
want to see here, you got 3% for the 960, 3% for the 950, and 2% for the 760. Which if they upgrade, I guarantee you they'll be going for like a 950, 960. And then you have the people that are still using 660s. So when you add all these percentages together, so a 650 plus a 660 plus the 750 Ti. Plus like the 750 market, you're getting up to like 10-12% of the market, which is a lot, that would all be looking to upgrade to the 950. You know what I mean? All those guys would see a huge benefit, as well as keep their wallets nice and full if they were upgrading to the 950. And that's why I said the 470 is important and needs to beat the 950, because
Yeah.
it's going to cost the same price. And if they don't get that market, they're gonna lose all those people that are using those 650, 650 Ti's, 550. You know what I mean? All those people that are on, like, they're not on the low end, but they're not nowhere near the high end either. You know what I mean?
Right,
When
right.
you grab a 750, like, you know, or a 950, you're not necessarily looked at as grabbing like a 250X. You know what I mean? You're
Right,
not
yeah.
grabbing something that can just barely game. You're trying to grab a card that's made for HD gaming, low to medium, high settings depending on the game. Which a huge percentage of the market does. Like I said, if you add in the 750 percentage with the 760 percentage, add in like the 260, 270s percentage, as well as the 660, 650, 750, add up all those percentages, because all those cards are roughly on par with each other as far as the, I would say, medium low end of the spectrum. You're getting a huge percent of those guys using those cards. And if the 470 flops, they're gonna have to rely on their 480 sales, and as we can see from the Steam market, that's an extremely low percentage comparing it to the percentage of all the 650 and 750 users and 260X users and stuff. You know what I mean? So hopefully they figure that out, and hopefully, like I said, hopefully they wipe the floor with the 950 to kind of make their way in there.
They need to.
Yeah, like I said, if they want to control like 10 to 15% of that Steam market, they need to beat out the 950 for an extremely cheap price. It's all good. Wasn't Memorial Day? I'm reading his comments. Watch YouTube, search NVIDIA.exe. Open the first video. What is that? I'm afraid to look up things people tell me to look up.
Mhm.
290X on Newegg in Canada frequently goes for 160 refurbished. See, now that's a beast
Shit.
of a deal right there.
That's a good deal.
But here's the thing: how much is the power supply going to cost you to get that thing going?
Yeah. The
Um,
290X that's a pretty power hungry card. It's powerful though, but it is power hungry.
And
But if,
$160
yeah,
is great, but
that is great.
if you have to dish out another $60 to $50 to get yourself a better power supply, like for instance, I wouldn't recommend doing a 600 watt on that if you have an FX CPU.
Oh yeah, you'd want to go higher.
Yeah, no, I would recommend a 750. Would probably be extremely safe, and you'll be good from there. With a 750 watt power supply and like FX 8350 at like 4.8, you're good. But if you have an Intel CPU, you might be able to get away with like a 650. Just be cautious and make sure your power supply is a good quality one. 950 will be no match for the 470. Well, that's what we're all hoping for. I hope it will not be a match. You know what I mean? But AMD.
Well, and the 470 is a newer technology, so I mean, you would hope that the 470 will beat the 950.
Well, I'm also saying that they kind of have to if they want to stay
Yeah,
relevant.
they have to.
You know what I mean? If they want to own a large portion, because like I said, right now they're undercutting Nvidia. They're going after the higher percentage in that market area. You know what I mean? They're going after the 80% of users by releasing these extremely budget-friendly, powerful cards. And if they want to do that, they have to make sure that they're going to school the 950. And yes, no, I've seen the benchmarks where the 470s wiping the floor with the 270X. But here's what I'm saying: those benchmarks are released by AMD. So, I mean, if I wanted to sell my product, I'd make it look really good too.
Right?
You know what I mean? So we have to take those benchmarks for what they are, and what they are is, in the perfect situation, this is how their stuff will perform. You know what I mean? And I'm hoping, by all means, we all hope it's true. But I mean, look at how it went with the 1080 launch. You know what I mean? And the 1070. Granted, they are amazing and powerful cards, the most powerful ones that you can get your hands on at the moment. But the hype train was real, and the delivery was not. You know what I mean? So that's just how it's gonna work. Canadian pesos aren't worth shit anymore. I'm sorry for your Canadian pesos. I can't believe they call them pesos in Canada. I've always thought that as a Spanish thing. You know what I mean? I always think of that as south of the border, not really north of the border, that they use pesos.
No, I think you're right. I don't think Canadian money. They don't call them pesos. I think they call them dollars. I think it's Canadian dollars. I feel like I should know, being that Canada's only 2 hours away from me. But
I'm looking up Canadian peso right now. I literally just Googled, and it says Mexican peso. Maybe he's just saying it, you know, kind of like to be funny. Is a fun video making fun of new graphics cards. I'll tell you what, I'll Google it and take a look at it. But if I get scared of it, I'm leaving. I'm just gonna drop my shit and just walk away. So exe. Who's making fun of it? Nvidia.exe. They put whole. Okay, gimping their old cards. Yeah, I'll go and watch it. If you guys want to watch it, go ahead. It looks like it's showing a picture of that Asian dude that was talking a lot about their cards on when they did their press.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
I'll watch it later, and hopefully it's funny. He just says pesos because it's worthless. See, now that is racist. Hey,
okay, it is dollars then. Good. I thought so. Like I said, I should know. I'm only 2 hours away, but yeah.
Yeah, I think he was just saying it just to kind of like say it. You know what I mean? Like to be the funny peso. But yeah. So that was a lot of AMD news that we just went through, dude. And that is basically because that's all that matters in life right now is that.
And their stock is up. One of my other ones, their shares are going up, so that's great.
Did you hear what this killed me, dude? Like what, 2 or 3 years ago, 4 years ago? I don't remember. Nvidia's stock dropped to $8 a share. Okay.
Oh,
do you know what their share is right now? It's like $45 or something like that.
God, I wish I would have bought that.
That's
man.
what I'm saying. If you would have bought like 10,000 shares, you know what I mean, for $80,000, and cashed out now when their stock's worth like $45, $40 a pop. Yeah, you'd be pretty good right now. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't be hurting.
Exactly. You could hire someone to run your company for you.
I know, right?
That way you have all the free time in the world. But yeah, no, it's I was actually looking at AMD stock, and I was thinking if I should buy one, because weren't they like $1 or something, $2 a share, $3 a share?
They were low.
Yeah, they were. I was thinking about buying, just a couple hundred, not a lot. You know what I mean? Just maybe like $1,000 worth of shares from AMD, and then just wait, because I know they're coming out with their Zen and Pascal, which means Polaris, and and Vega, and I was gonna wait for all those to release and then have their shares go up, to $10, $12, and then sell them all. You know what I mean? Cash out, and just make an extra, couple $100 or so, $1,000, just for the fun of it. When did the word honest transform into the word racist? Oh, it becomes more racist when you try to say it's honest. So like if I were to say fucking Asian people can't drive, and then someone says, hey, that's racist and stereotypical, and I said, no, it's the truth, that just makes me look like more of a racist. So yeah, when the word honest transformed into the word racist, that's hilarious. Pesos are pretty worthless. I think I know Filipino money was like 50 to $1, 50 pesos to $1, 48 pesos to 51 pesos to $1 at its peak. That was pretty worthless, dude. I mean, I could literally take a penny. When I was there, this was back in the 90s. I could take a fucking penny and go to a candy shop and buy out like half his store. Like, it was fucking hilarious. Or like my mom would give me like a nickel or a quarter, and like he'd give me like handfuls of candy for a nickel, and basically kept like the 4 cents as a tip. So Yeah.
That's terrible.
Well, I mean, yeah, you go out there, man, and you're considered rich if you got $100 in your pocket. Like
Hmm.
that's fairly, yeah. And even up to this day, I mean, they are getting more, moving more away from the third world country type of thing. But they are still definitely, when it comes to exchange rate, poor compared to us. You know what I mean? But then again, you also have to look at how much more expensive living is out here. Yeah, $5 is a ton for you, right? $5 means like fucking you got hundreds of bucks in your pocket. Here, $5 won't even get you a freaking kids meal. So,
No.
you know what I mean? That's just how it goes. What are you guys predicting on NBA Finals? Well, I'm not a basketball person. Are you? I'm not a
No.
sports person at all.
Not at
dude.
all.
I lived in
Yeah.
China for almost a year. Chinese cannot drive. It is no, trust me. I think I talked about this on our show before, where I was in the car with my friend and he's full blood Chinese, and yeah, I've straight watched him run stop signs, get honked at and yelled at, and act like nothing is going on. Just literally didn't even pay attention to the guy that almost ran us over. You know what I mean? I'm like, really, man? You know,
So are Asian women worse than Asian men drivers? Is that
yeah, I think so. I think they've
yeah,
proven that. I
yeah.
think there was like some scientific explanation.
Really?
Behind
It was
this.
for oh shit.
I don't know. I was
Wow.
just talking shit.
Before we
Yeah.
get in trouble. Yeah,
Yeah.
we better yeah.
All my Asian subscribers, which might be like 10, just left me. Yeah.
Yep, unsub.
Yep.
Fuck
Exactly.
you, unsub.
You know what? I've been uploading less, and it hurts to say that, but my subscriber count's increasing more. I mean, it took me a year to get to 500 subs, but granted, there were times where I took 6-month breaks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And was gone for a while because I had to work, kind of like now where I don't upload as often. But since I hit 500 subs, my subs have gone up another 250 in like what 2-3 months, comparing it to going up 500 in a year. You know what I mean? So like
Right.
the growth has gone up. So like, should I stop uploading so you guys can just keep subscribing to me or what? I don't know what's going on here, but
I don't,
no,
I
I've
don't
been.
remember the last time I uploaded a video. It's been a long time.
Yeah, I know. I go to your channel, seeing if you got anything new. I uploaded 2 videos last week.
I know I saw them. Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
gonna-
two in the same day.
I was gonna keep uploading too. I had a few more ideas for videos, but the woman's in town, so now
Yep, yep.
I can't.
Gotta
I can't
take
do
care of
much.
her.
Yeah, dude,
Gotta
it's
take
it's
care of
bad
her.
enough. She's already giving me dirty looks because she's been sitting here for 30 minutes to an hour, watching me talk to you guys. No, she's smiling. She. It's not true. She doesn't mind. She knows that this is important to me. So, even though we don't get the biggest audience when we're doing the live stream, but we'll get there someday.
Oh yeah, it's just gonna take a consistency.
Okay, so he goes, it's terrifying. He's talking about driving in China. Imagine a broken roller coaster ride at full speed. So they're gonna aim to take out the 480 with a 1060.
They won't. I don't think they're gonna release it in time though. I bet you the 1060 comes after the 480. I bet.
Yeah. Yeah, don't worry. Yeah, thanks for the compliment to both of us.
Yeah,
You should
thank
watch
you.
both of our channels, and I do intend on uploading. He has more excuse to not upload than I do because he's.
I don't know about that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
he's busy. You own your own business, so you get to work 6-7 days a week. My ass, I work 5 days a week, but I've been having this problem where people like to just come sleep on my couch. It's friends from out of town, you know what I mean? And it's been like that. I think it's because it's summertime, but they've been coming for the last like 3 months. So I've been like having no friggin' free time whatsoever. American Nuck Radio. Yeah, I didn't listen to you guys this week because I was busy at work, and I ended up getting off early on Saturday. But I still have been randomly listening to you guys' shows. Yes, definitely. It's actually not bad. He pointed it out to me. It took me 2 weeks to finally actually sit down and listen to him. But American Nuck Radio is actually more politically informative than our show.
Oh gosh, yes. I tried to listen to it once while I was at work, and I found out you can't. You got to really devote a lot of attention to it. It's very informative. It's a very informative podcast
Oh yeah.
or radio show. It's live, right? So I guess it's not a. What do they consider that? Do they consider that a podcast or
I think they consider it like a radio show, like
just a radio show?
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah. So one guy, he says more cheap PC build videos. Oh, trust me, the only reason I haven't been doing it is because all the parts are played out. I've already got videos covering all the price range with all the newest parts for the most part, and the performance increases and pricing has been so similar and slightly changed, it won't make a difference. You know what I mean? So what I'm waiting for is AMD's new launch, and then I'm going to start working on some more. Like I said, the first one I'm going to be doing though is I'm going to pre-order a 480 if they let me pre-order it. I'm going to get one as soon as I can. On top of doing the review and benchmarking it, I'm going to be doing a $500 or $600 build, including the 480, and that will be
nice.
like that'll be like the video I had with the budget build done for real, which is basically where I, instead of doing the theoretical budget build, I do an actual budget build. So that'll happen. We are live on terrestrial radio stations in a bunch of the states. That's what he's saying.
Okay.
I just listened to him from the website. That's the easiest.
That's what
way
I
to
did
do
too.
it.
Yep, yep. I haven't made a live one, but where the call in, that might be kind of fun to be able to call in.
Yeah, definitely. I would want to call in, but I don't want to look like an idiot.
I know I would be an idiot too. He'd be like, "Hang up on this asshole."
Yeah, he'd be talking like all sorts of political stuff that I have no idea about, and I'm like, "Yeah, Katrina was bad," and then they're just gonna hang up on me because I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so that's not. We are constantly hounded because we're not politically correct, dude. Dude, YouTube. You should try YouTube. Oh my god, dude, I don't get death threats like Barnacles or nothing, but I get people that are super upset at me for no reason. You know what I mean? Or try to down. I had one guy talking to me about. Remember, I told you the performance with the AMD Intel CPU versus using an AMD GPU, and I told him it didn't make a difference, and he was like fighting for his life in this argument. I'm like, dude, in my cases, and I have tested them. It's like I've tested multiple CPUs and GPUs. More than the average person gets to, because the YouTube channel lets me do things like that. You know what I mean? And it's like I know more or less what I'm talking about. Not saying you don't, but I mean it's not going to make a difference with a 360 either way. But yeah, some people get really mad. I've had people tell me I was stupid. Someone called me a Asian piece of shit or something like that, and I was like,
really?
I'm a Pacific Islander, but all right, it's cool. I do have the Chinese eyes. I mean, I know it's squinty, so I'm not worried about it. I accept it as it is.
But still, race has nothing to do with intelligence.
We had some lady that called us yesterday. She was some weird chick that talks to squirrels. Okay. Did she have anything to do with, was that Iran? Was that Iran or Iraq or Russia? They arrested like 15 squirrels. Did you hear about that?
I did not.
Hold on, I'm gonna look
for
up.
real?
Yes, I'm gonna look up the link to find out exact details so I don't get it wrong. But basically, some squirrels were arrested. Okay, Iranians arrest 14 squirrels under the suspicion of being spies.
How in the?
That's 14 squirrels.
How was that?
I guess they were like GPS equipped or something is what they were tinging.
Oh.
So this is Iran. So I'll go ahead and post the link in the chat if you guys want to look at that. That's ridiculous. You know what I mean? You're gonna arrest fucking squirrels. Was she in there? None of us knew that she was smoking or something. She was weird. You guys can call and say whatever. Yeah, I know, but you guys sound so much smarter than us. I don't have any like doctrines or anything, any degrees and shit. So
how the hell do you arrest a squirrel anyway? Like, do you just tell it to stop? And
she was having an argument with a squirrel in her garden. I wonder if they made handcuffs for the squirrels. Maybe they should send this girl over there to interrogate these squirrels. If she can talk to them. I'm being 75% serious right now. But yeah, so apparently that was terrible. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have talked about that on your show, but that might be an interesting topic. It's a little bit older. I think it happened. This happened back in 2007, but it's still something funny to bring up. So I mean, I don't know if you should have brought that up to her, asked her if she was the one that they sent over there to interrogate these squirrels. Yeah, because that's a funny thing. I mean, and I hate to be the typical American that talks shit on Iran, because America and Middle Easterns don't necessarily have the best relationship at all times. But holy shit, man. I mean, I know Americans do stupid shit all the time. I mean, Google invented glasses, put them on a lady, and got her beat up in a bar. So, I mean, we do dumb shit too. If it was America, I would have wondered if they would have stopped to read their rights. You know what? If it was America, they probably would, because by law they had to. And who knows what kind of attorney these squirrels might have. You know what I mean? You don't want to get caught with your pants down and have the police department hit with a lawsuit. Because you know those squirrels, man. They're like Jews. They know what they're doing. Especially those spy squirrels. So I mean, I don't know how you would tell the difference between a Russian squirrel and a regular squirrel. Maybe they have thicker fur or something, or they smell like vodka. I don't know. Oh, I'm just being so fucking racist right now. It's hilarious.
Jesus Christ. That's funny.
Yeah, well, I'd say, like I said, look into it. Oh, and Syria happened in this year. Okay, so 2007, Iran did it. I thought it was the Russians that did it that I had heard. But I know that it happened before. Yeah, so it's happened twice. So I don't know what it is. I mean, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't put it past America to equip a bunch of squirrels with GPSs. So I know that the other countries would fucking do it too. You know what I mean? But I don't know how you would arrest squirrels. Like, can you even arrest an animal? Like, I feel like what is? I'm gonna go ahead and look up the definition for arrested because I want to know what the definition exactly is. To seize someone by legal authority or take into custody. Okay, I guess. I mean, I guess you could seize a squirrel, but it says someone. It doesn't say something, and I don't know if you could call a squirrel someone.
I don't think so.
So yeah, we're getting really technical here, guys. Hold on. By legal authority or to take into custody.
How the hell would you get it to stop?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know because they're not conscious beings, or you know what I mean. They don't. It's a fucking animal. Either way, Jehovah was a black Jew. What does that have to do? Russian squirrels are radioactive. Okay, so that's how you tell the difference between a Russian squirrel and a regular squirrel. They're radioactive. Iran arrests squirrels and Syria arrests squirrels as well. So if you're a squirrel, I would stay away from those two countries just in case.
Definitely.
Yeah, you definitely have to put it in a cage. But then again, isn't it innocent until proven guilty, or is that only in America? Because I mean, I don't think we could legally put a squirrel, detain a squirrel without probable cause. You need. I'm trying to keep a straight face while doing this, like they have rights or something. I'm trying. Where's PETA? Someone tell me where the fuck PETA is on this. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't be happy with this. You can't just go around arresting squirrels. They have rights too. My girlfriend's laughing at me because it's so ridiculous. Yeah, no, they had. I don't know. If I was a squirrel, I'd be fucking terrified of Russian animal control. Fuck that. Like animal control in general just seemed like you know how the cartoons always depict them in all the kid shows. I couldn't imagine a Russian one. Innocent until proven dead in Iran. Really? You know what? I feel it's like sad that I kind of believe that.
Yeah, that is kind of sad, but I would believe that.
So yeah, no, dude, yeah, I would if you do definitely listen to that on the show, I will definitely tune in for that episode where you guys talk about a squirrel getting arrested because that is hilarious. I want to hear your guys' what you all have to say on it. You know what I mean, as far as political standpoints and as well as just making fun of it. I kind of want to see how that goes. Also, Geek reached out to me. Do you remember Geek? Did I tell you about them? The one I did the case review on?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and send you the link to their store just so you remember which one I'm talking about. But, yeah, they reached out to me, and I might be doing a review for one of their cases. I'm excited.
Yeah, I like that one, the review you did. That was a while ago, but yeah. I like it.
Well, they're supposed to be releasing some pretty intense cases. If you guys haven't seen Geek, I encourage you guys to go follow them on Instagram or Twitter. I'm going to post their Instagram link in chat here so you guys can go ahead and take a look at them. Let's see. They're coming out with this case, and that's the case I want to review. It's not done yet. I'm not sure I'm not sure what case they want me to review, but I hope to God it's that one. That the first case that pops up. Do you see their Instagram link?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is sweet looking.
The triangle case?
The triangle one, yeah. It reminds me of the Alienware did one close to that, or almost the same. That's a neat looking case.
Mm-hmm. So I encourage you guys to go ahead and follow these guys. They already got 2,800 followers. I do have an Instagram. I never freaking use it. I need to start promoting it a little bit more, but I barely even use my Twitter. I've been trying to stay in social media game to kind of keep you guys updated on what's going on, but it's just hard for me. I don't know. I'm not a social media guy. Surprisingly enough, I have a YouTube channel, right? So it's just tough. Even though, yeah, YouTube does count as social media. I'm very aware of that. But yeah, I do check my comments every day and try to keep up with stuff like that. But yeah, so Geek said that they're thinking about releasing this new case, and once they're done working on it, they're gonna get in contact with me, and I would love to review their stuff. So I'm excited for that. So you guys can definitely keep an eye out for that. If I get one of those cases, obviously I'll let you guys know, and you guys can watch the video. I'm curious on pricing is the main thing, because one of the things I liked about the original case that I did a review on was its price.
Yeah, it was cheap.
$49. You know what I mean? For a full acrylic ITX case. You know, I couldn't. Nico Genius, interesting case. It's kind of a gimmick. Is something I'd get sick of. I mean, well, that's all personal preference. I mean, how, you know, yeah, you might get sick of it, but someone might love it for the rest of their life. You know, they might marry it or sleep with it or take it to Iran and get it arrested or something. But it's not a squirrel, so they won't take it. But yeah, no, I mean, it depends on your point of view and your personal preference. You know what I mean? Cases are complete personal preference. So like when I build people's computers, if they're on an extreme budget, I tell them you have two options. You can spend more, pick a case you like, or let me pick the case, and I will literally pick the cheapest one I can buy to make sure money goes towards other stuff. And then other things I don't buy people's monitors for them, keyboards, mice, or headsets. And the reason why that's personal preference, man. I don't have your ear shape. I don't know what temperature your room is. So if you want like leather cups or fabric cups or whatever, you know, I don't know these things. I don't know how your fingers feel on different keyboards. So that's something that you need to pick out, you know, yourself. That's why I don't do any of that stuff. But yeah, no, they also have other cases, you guys. If you scroll down, you can definitely see. And I will say this: when I first approached this company, when I did my original video with them, they were using some pretty low-end hardware inside of their computers for their pictures, and they have evolved so much to where they're using like fucking Z170, X99, Z97 stuff inside their shit. They're doing actual full custom bent tube loops. They've got like, you know, GTX 980s, 1080s inside their systems now, you know what I mean, for the pictures. They have definitely stepped their game up as far as mostly the photography and the advertisement of them, you know what I mean? Because like I said, when I had first approached them, their pictures, they were good quality pictures, but the hardware they were using inside of the computers were extremely either outdated or low quality. So it's nice to see them grabbing like all-in-one liquid coolers, using high-quality Corsair power supplies and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I've gotten really excited because I've actually got to watch this company grow and get bigger. They show a lot of things on their Instagram, a bunch of cases. Sadly, not all of them are available on their website. A lot of them are still beta testing, and they've been using feedback from me, other YouTubers, other reviewers, the overall community, and been slowly improving things, you know what I mean, depending on what people are saying. So that's why some of their cases aren't even available yet, is because they're still working out kinks. You got to remember, these cases are getting designed from the ground up from a company that hasn't been making cases for 20 years, like friggin' Cooler Master or whatever. So they're starting from scratch. But yeah, I'm super excited to see what they come up with. Do you have anything crazy? Any cool reviews maybe?
Me? No, nothing.
Are you thinking about doing a review on like the 400 series?
I hadn't planned on it, but after hearing you talk today, it does sound interesting. I've just been so strapped for time. I like buy all this shit, and then I don't even get to review it. It's terrible.
Oh, no, trust me. I have at times where I had a 5960X in my possession.
Oh man.
I've had the Asus Strix 980 Ti in my possession. I've had a 6700K in my possession. Several Z170 motherboards, and I just did not have the time to do proper reviews on them. So I didn't even say I had them. You know what I mean?
Right. It's
and
terrible.
It hurts when you don't have the time. But I'm going to make time for this 480, and maybe me and you can save some money, and we'll go half on like one of their 460s or 470s, so we can both review it, and then we'll just sell it. We'll just sell it after and split the money afterwards.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Yeah, it ended up costing us what, like $20 each.
I know, right?
Shipping. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Maybe me and you should just split our review costs, since we don't get them for free. That, or one of us get famous enough and we just share review samples. I'll do that.
I think we have a long way to go, the both of us, don't we?
Yeah, I know. We're not in it for the fame, so it's not.
No. This is just fun. I'm in it for the fun.
Yep, this is our hobby, guys. This is what we do. So PETA, I didn't even see that. People eating tasty animals. That is not. PETA would be insulted
Oh
if you
boy.
told them that. PETA stands for People Saving Iranian Squirrels
Yep.
or Russian squirrels, radioactive squirrels. That's
And I support that all the way.
yep. Because I mean, I don't even know how many letters are in that or for an acronym, but and I know PETA doesn't exactly line up with that. So, but either way, Russian squirrels. I'm gonna make a meme.
They're very
Russia,
important.
we need to make a meme and send it to fucking Russia. Russian squirrel lives matter.
Russian squirrel lives matter.
So yeah, we'll do that. We'll get that. We'll get everyone on board like that. We'll start a movement. Save the squirrels. Yeah, I wonder. You did. Did it say anything about them actually being spies? Did you
I don't
see that in the
recall. Yeah,
article?
I don't think they were never convicted. They probably have to go to court first.
Yeah, no, definitely. They're gonna have to get all the everything. This might even make it to Supreme Court. I don't know how their government works, but you know that's how we would do it. It'd probably make it pretty high up. Arrested 14 squirrels on the border. State-sponsored new agency, IRNA. What is that? Is that their like CIA or is that their
Yeah.
was NSA for us?
It sounds reasonable.
Squirrels were
Yeah.
carrying spy gear of foreign agencies. What? So apparently they made the squirrels carry gear, spy gear, and they were stopped before they could act. Wow, so these squirrels were actually police. That's not fair to the squirrels though, because I feel like the squirrels were probably forced into this. I mean, if you've seen Taken, they kidnap your daughter or your son or your family, and even though you don't want to get back in the spy game,
But you end up
you
doing
have
it.
to. You know what I mean? So I mean, for all they know, they should get some form of pardon because I mean they might have had the squirrel's daughter. You don't know.
Well, and squirrels could have a lot of kids. I mean, they probably have way more kids than humans, so he could have had more than one child.
Oh, Zen being delayed till 2017? Yeah, no, it wouldn't surprise me if it doesn't come out to like Q2 2017. It
Yeah,
shouldn't be that long, but it might.
the earliest I've seen is the end of 2016. That's like the earliest.
Oh, he says he likes listening to our show because we have honest passion. Well, yeah, because we like doing this.
Oh yeah.
This is fun for us. You know what I mean? This is literally what I look forward to throughout the week. I'm like, dude, I get to go hang out and bullshit online and talk with you guys. They were CIA trained squirrels. Yeah, but here's the thing. They might have been like, I want out. You know what I mean? Was it? It was like I think it was like Taken 1 or Taken 2 when he's like, I'm done, and they're like, no, we need you back,
Yep.
and he's like, I'm done, and he's like, I told you I don't want to come back, and they're like, well, we have your daughter, and then you know what I mean. So he was trained, but at the same time he wanted out. He was forced back into the game, and that could be the situation for these squirrels. We'll never know because we don't know how the Iraqi system works. So is this Iran? Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Iranian
down
system
here,
works.
I wonder if they will try to torture to get them to talk. That's
Like I
terrible.
said, dude, you need to give him the phone number of that girl that was having an argument with the squirrel in her front yard because
Yep.
she might be able to help them. And who knows? Maybe they can make a plea bargain once they finally get past the communication barrier. Maybe the squirrels want to take a plea bargain, or maybe they were telling them, "Man, I had to. If I didn't, they were going to kill my wife and ransack my squirrel village."
It's going to take a hell of a translator, I think. They're really going to have to.
Yeah. I mean, do they make little battery nipples shockers for squirrels? Can you waterboard a
They
squirrel?
will now. They
Like,
will
would he
now.
would he even understand what's going on if you were torturing them? Like, I don't understand. Maybe not. My girlfriend is looking at me retarded. We're back to squirrel talk. This is terrible. Oh yeah, that's another thing. I didn't have time because I was drunk last night. I want to start a segment. We need a segment on our show. The first segment that we will have, since we don't really have an order to do our shows, and we should call it Tinfoil Hat Talk.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I like to have a tinfoil hat sometimes.
So basically, what we're gonna do, this is for future audiences as well. You guys, we're gonna sometime during the show we're gonna have a topic that is related to conspiracy or shady government or politic or even company actions. You know what I mean? Basically, a new Illuminati confirmed, and
Yeah.
we're gonna wear a tinfoil hat while we talk. Do you have tinfoil? Can you make a hat? I can.
Shit,
make a fucking
I'll
hat.
go buy tinfoil for that.
Exactly. So we'll have to do that once. It'll be like our rant 30. You know what I mean? How Tech
Oh, yeah,
Syndicate
there you
has its
go.
Rant
There you go.
30,
Right, right.
You know, and I think Linus does like they fire off questions in the comments type thing, stuff like that. We need to have our own segment, and our segment I think will be Tin Hat Talk. Where
Tin
we
Hat
just-
Talk, I
we
like
just
it.
put on some tinfoil hats and just conspiracize on things like squirrels. So now there's another thing that we have to watch out for is the government putting spy gear on our squirrels. What classifies as spy gear? I mean, if I have a recording device, like
camera,
a little,
maybe, yeah.
that's what I'm saying. If I have a camera and a recording device, that doesn't make me a spy. But if is that I mean, it can't be racist because it's not really a race. Is that like speciesist? Like where if a squirrel is seen with a camera, he's automatically a spy. I mean, I don't want to sound racist, but when you see a black guy running down the street with a TV, you think he stole it. So it's like the same thing there. If you see a squirrel running across your yard with a camera, is he a spy? Is he Russian? So I mean, that's
now there's a stereotype.
Yeah, so now they're stereotyping. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. That would be good tinfoil hat talk. You guys need to watch out. This is our tinfoil hat talk for now, which is squirrel stuff. We just don't have our hats ready. But watch out for squirrels with microphones because they could be spying on you and feeding and selling your information to Google and the NSA and the CIA and the GoPro plus squirrel.
GoPro plus squirrel
equals Russian spy squirrel. That's exactly what that means. The government's looking at you. Google's watching you. Microsoft stealing your data. There
Better
we go.
close the blinds on your windows. Them fucking squirrels are looking.
What you can do is you can get a cat.
There you go.
Or a dog. They're not usually fans of squirrels. I have a cat and a dog, which I hate both of them. But I mean, at least that cat will have something useful to do now. He'll chase all the spy squirrels around from my house. So I wonder if I found a squirrel in my front yard that was sent by the American government, could I push it under citizen's arrest? Like, because I know that if Canada or Mexico sent in a squirrel with cameras to spy on us, the American government would definitely take it. They would arrest it.
Oh boy, yeah.
So if you're invading my property with a squirrel, even though you're my own government, can I shoot it for trespassing? I have a 45.
Should be able to.
Or I have a 40. So my 40 will just blow up that squirrel.
Crap,
there wouldn't be anything left of it. Sorry, guys, just in time. Squirrel chick was crazy. She had some Texas accent. Well, that's why. She's from Texas. I don't know. I actually grew up and spent a lot of time in Texas when I was little. But I don't know how you know someone... Just a southern accent? I think it's just called a southern accent. I don't think it's called Texas accent. I think that's just a southern thing. But,
yeah, southern.
Yeah, yeah. And then you have the northern people that are like so close to Canada, they're almost Canadian. Like the way they talk. Luckily, Mike's not too there. He just sounds like he's white. But like
that's right.
You have.
Those... I was born in Texas.
Oh, okay. See.
Yeah, I lived there for about half my life.
Oh, see, so that's why he doesn't have that like, oh, don't you know? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Go into town and get some tacos. Like they just sound like people from Wisconsin and Michigan sound so white.
I know, Michigan and Wisconsin, yeah.
And then you have those little 14-year-old kids.
Don't you know?
Call an admin and he's gonna ban you. They just sound like a typical redhead, extremely pale kid that lives in Wisconsin.
Hey, look at Nico Genius here. Do squirrels use drones for insertion and extraction? You got like a solid snake drone or a solid snake squirrel.
That should
be jumping off of a drone and
that should be a new fucking video game, dude. Squirrels. We should make spy squirrels. What would we call it?
Well, they had that. They had G-Force with the guinea pigs, where the guinea pigs were spies.
G-Force? So, I like that name.
Yeah.
What do you say? Weird southern accent then? Yeah, he's saying weird. Was it weird? So Texas people have weird. Texans, you would say, have weird southern accents? Bobby's World. I don't know what that means. And they did rocket penguins in Batman.
Oh, yes. Yep, that's right. Yep.
So if you can strap a rocket to a penguin, you could strap a squirrel to a drone. That makes sense. Yeah. I mean, oh my God, dude, we're getting way too intense on this squirrel. I hope you guys bring that up in your show because it is a funny topic, and I'm pretty sure a lot of your audience will get a kick out of the ridiculous thing. Not just Iranian or Russian Soviet governments go through. Every government goes through this crazy stuff. I've listened to your guys' show and I've heard the ridiculous things that the Canadian government does as well. Like the one lady freaking out over getting accidentally elbowed by the governor or something. Where did you hear that show where they were talking about that one? I guess what happened was, they were protesting or some shit or trying to stop him from casting his vote. Flying squirrels. Flying squirrels are actually gliding squirrels. They don't actually fly. But I mean, if it was on a drone, then it would fly. That is very true. Yes, you could definitely do that. But yeah, anyways, they were talking about the Canadian government and I don't know, something about a vote. or something like that, and someone was getting blocked, like they were forming like a human wall to block him from getting up to do his vote. And I guess like some political official, I think it was the governor or something, tried to step in and kind of help him get his way through. And some lady got accidentally elbowed or something, and she like dramatically flew to the floor, like super like fainted and shit, fell over and made a huge deal about it. But she was standing in his way. I mean, if I jump in front of a truck and get hit by that truck, I'm not going to blame the truck driver because I jumped in front of a truck. You know what I mean? So if someone's trying to push their way through a crowd and you intentionally stand in front of him, this is what they were talking about, that is your fault. Get the hell out the way. You're intentionally blocking him. So if he pushes you out the way, maybe you should have moved. You know what I mean? Or punch him back. Whatever you got to do to make you feel better. But don't fall on the ground dramatically and start crying. That's what fucking soccer players do. That's what football Brazilian football players do. I was watching a game yesterday in the bar last night, and I always watch the fails, you know what I mean, on YouTube, the soccer fails, but this one was like a straight up, they're both running for the ball, they get kind of close to each other, one of them just jumps in the air, just flails, and then just hits the ground and lays on the floor and puts on that cry face while he holds his leg, and it shows the instant replay, and the other guy just like looks at him, like 2 feet distance from him, and just the guy just flails, and he's just like looking at the guy like, why the fuck are you flailing? You know what I mean? And I'm like, dude, don't you know high-def slow-mo cameras are used nowadays and that you can't get away with faking injuries anymore? Come on, man.
And then when you get caught, you really look like a jackass.
So, yeah, that ended up happening with that, and I thought that was a pretty funny topic right there, how people can act so sensitive and just try to do anything that, you know what I mean? I can't believe that would be considered okay. And there was actually, like, they're making a big deal out of it instead of just saying, like, and the guy apologized, too. You know what I mean? It's not like he was a dick. He said he was sorry. It was an accident. He didn't mean to knock her over. She was just in the fucking way. You know what I mean? Shit was getting physical, and you stood there. So that's your fault, you know? But, yeah, I think we can go ahead. We've been going for like an hour and a half, man. We can shut it down. I'm pretty sure you got business to take care of. I have a business to take care of as well.
Yeah, you got the girlfriend in town, yeah? You got to go. You probably got to take her out to dinner or something, huh?
Yeah, we went out to dinner last night and a movie and a bar. Twice.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, we've been out to the bar twice, yeah. So we'll probably end up going to the bar again because it's birthday at 12 o'clock. Yeah. So either way, right. Thank you guys for stopping by. Thanks for the professor being all up in chat and making us laugh, as always. That's awesome. And we will try to do this again next Sunday. I hopefully don't have any surprise visitors, so I should be good to go next Sunday. Are you going to be out of town? Oh, you always crossing your fingers.
I'm always crossing my fingers. That's right.
Oh, man. Well, yeah, I felt so bad when you told me you were already set up in your truck and ready to go. I was like, God, I'm such a dick.
That's
like,
okay.
I didn't see your text message, and you didn't see mine at first either. And by the time I saw yours, I was already at the airport. So if you guys didn't know, Mike's so dedicated to you guys. He was going to host this show in his truck. Yep. Like straight up on a laptop and Wi-Fi. He was just going to host his show in his truck. So
it's going to happen. I'm going to do it.
Yeah, it's probably going to end up happening. Yeah, because you're busy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if next week, if that's what you have to do, we'll set it up and I'll probably do more topics because I shouldn't be partying next weekend. So I don't even party that hard. I mean, last night we went a little ham. Like I said, we stumbled in to a Roberto's. It's like, do you have Roberto's out there?
No, don't.
It's like a taco shop kind of thing, like Mexican food. And we stumbled in at like 4 a.m, dude, and got some giant nachos, like a huge fucking carne asada nachos. And yeah, I ate way too much of that last night. I couldn't help it. I was like drunk. But yeah, anyways, thanks for stopping by, guys. We'll catch you guys later. Let me get ready to hit end stream. Okay, you can go ahead and say bye.
Bye.
See you next week.